6 stocks that will make millionaires. Now, that is one heck of a claim. But today, we're not just looking at a title. We're going to tear into the deep dive analysis behind it, focusing on 6 specific companies that this report says are right on the verge of absolutely explosive growth. You know, it's the question every single one of us asks. The market is just, it's so noisy. There are thousands of companies all screaming for your attention. So, how do you find the real signal? Where's the true opportunity hiding? Well, this explainer is all about an analysis that claims it's found that signal. It's pinpointed 6 companies that are each, right now, at a massive inflection point. The report splits them into 3 key themes, so let's jump right into the first one. Okay, everyone is obsessed with the AI gold rush. But you know the old saying, right? The real money was made selling the picks and shovels? We're starting with 2 companies that are literally building the foundation of the entire AI revolution. First up, we've got Celestica and Nebius Group. The analysis zeroes in on these 2 as the absolute essential players. They're providing the hardware, the cloud infrastructure, basically the plumbing for this whole AI boom. Let's kick it off with Celestica. So Celestica, this wasn't always an AI story. They were a more traditional electronics manufacturer. But according to this report, they have made a brilliant pivot into an AI infrastructure powerhouse. And boy, is the market starting to notice. And if you want proof, look no further than their Q2 numbers. I mean, come on, revenue shot up 21% year over year. Earnings per share up 54%. But here's the kicker. Their hardware solutions segment, that's the part that powers AI, is up an incredible 82%. That's acceleration. So what's the result of that pivot? What does it mean for investors? Just look at this number, a 344% return in a single year. The analysis argues this is not just some temporary spike. This is the market finally waking up to how critical this company has become. And you better believe Wall Street is paying attention now. Canaccord Genuity just slapped a street-high price target of $240 on it. That suggests that even after this massive run, the pros think there's still a ton of room to grow. Okay, next up in the AI space is Nebius Group. Now, these guys have a really unique angle. They're cashing in on what's called sovereign AI. Basically, it means countries want their data and their AI kept inside their own borders. Nebius is becoming the go-to provider for this in Europe. And if you need one number to understand the opportunity here, this is it. A 625% year-over-year revenue growth in Q2. That is just staggering. It shows you how fast Nebius is gobbling up this brand new, high-demand market. The report breaks down their secret sauce into 3 key advantages. First, they are the only provider in Europe with NVIDIA's brand new GB200 superchip. That's huge. They've also jacked up their recurring revenue forecast to almost $1 billion. And they're securing over a gigawatt of power, the one thing AI absolutely cannot function without. All right, let's shift gears. Now we're going to look at a totally different kind of opportunity. We're talking about big, established companies that are in the middle of a huge pivot, a transformation, that this analysis believes could unlock some serious and seriously overlooked value. First up is PayPal. And yeah, I know what you're thinking when you see that chart. The stock has been a dog, a huge disappointment. But the report argues that's exactly where the opportunity is. Because under the hood, PayPal is trying to pull off a complete reinvention. This quote from the analysis says it all. The plan is to shift PayPal from just a wallet, a checkout button, into a massive global payments network. They want to connect almost 2 billion users. That's not just an upgrade. That's a whole new ballgame. The second transformation story is Bloom Energy. They've been in the fuel cell game for a while, but the analysis points to one specific event as the game changer, their recent deal with Oracle. This isn't just another contract. It's a massive validation of their entire business model for powering AI data centers. And how did the market react? With a 900% earnings beat in Q2. A 900% beat. The analysis reads this as a giant flashing sign that Bloom's tech is the answer to the insane energy demands of AI right here, right now. But here's the real catalyst: 90 days. This number is a bombshell. That's Bloom's new timeline to get an entire data center powered up. This usually takes years because of grid problems. Being able to do it in 3 months, for these giant tech companies, that is absolutely revolutionary. Okay, for our next section, we've got a really cool contrast. First, a company that utterly dominates its market and is now using that power to expand. And second, a total disruptor, a company trying to create a brand new market out of thin air. Let's start with the dominator, DoorDash. I mean, this chart really says it all. doesn't it? They have a jaw-dropping 67% of the US food delivery market. That's not just being number one. That's building a fortress that they can launch their next attacks from. And they are not thinking small. They're going global. A nearly $4 billion deal for Deliveroo gets them into Europe. Over $1 billion for 7 rooms pushes them into restaurant tech. Oh, and they've casually built $1 billion a year ad business. The goal here isn't food delivery, it's a global commerce platform. And some analysts see this stock going as high as $360. And now, the disruptor. ASP SpaceMobile. This thing is the definition of a moonshot. It's high risk, but the potential reward is off the charts. Their goal is, well, it's revolutionary. To beam satellite service directly to the normal cell phone in your pocket anywhere on the planet. So here's the gamble, laid out plain and simple. The pros? They've got giants like AT&T and Verizon on their side. That gives them potential access to billions of customers. And they've got it locked down with thousands of patents. The cons? The risk of actually pulling this off is massive. They have fierce competition from Starlink, and nearly 20% of the stock is being shorted. It is a true high-stakes bet. Okay, so we've run through 6 absolutely incredible companies, all at what could be major turning points. But how do you put this all together? How does it become a strategy? Let's boil it all down into a clear, actionable playbook. The analysis does a great job of breaking these down by risk. For conservative growth, you've got Celestica and DoorDash. They're already executing, plus PayPal as that undervalued comeback story. Then for aggressive growth, you've got the pure disruptors, Nebius, Bloom Energy, and AST SpaceMobile. The risk is higher for sure, but the potential rewards are revolutionary. At the end of the day, this analysis frames these 6 companies as way more than just tickers on a screen. They're a potential slice of the future of AI, of next-gen energy, of global communication. So the report leaves us with one final, powerful question. Which future are you investing in?